Did Jack the Ripper's atrocities have anything to do with worshipping the devil? Among the most notorious and mysterious serial killers in history is Jack the Ripper. Between August and November of 1888, the impoverished Whitechapel neighborhood in London saw 5 women brutally killed. The murderer, known as Jack the Ripper, remained unapprehended and unidentified, shrouding the case in secrecy and conjecture. One of the more fascinating and contentious ideas surrounding the notorious serial killer is the idea that Jack the Ripper belonged to a satanic organization or practiced demon worship. Despite the lack of hard data, the theory has caught on with the public and is still a topic of interest and discussion. Future researchers will likely revisit this theory repeatedly due to the unlikely resolution of the Ripper cases. The proponents of the satanic cult theory cite a number of instances in which they believe it is supported. First, the ritualistic aspect of the Ripper's killings is evident. The disfigurement of the victims' bodies suggests their sacrifice or use in rituals associated with Satanism. People have used this as evidence of their involvement in the occult. Some have theorized that the removal of specific organs and the symbolic placement of the victims' bodies have occult or satanic meanings. Supporters of this view have also pointed out the timing of the killings, which occurred on important days in the occult calendar. Mary Ann Nichols, for example, was the victim of the first murder on August 31, 1888, the eve of the satanic high holiday of Lammas or Lughnasadh. Certain scholars have also brought up the fact that the killings occurred in London's Whitechapel district, a district with a lengthy history of occult and esoteric activity. The proximity of the murders to sites believed to be associated with occult or satanic organizations provides additional evidence for a possible connection. Allegations suggest that several suspects in the Ripper case may be members of a satanic cult. Walter Sickert, an occultist painter, is a famous suspect. According to some experts, Sickert was either a member of a satanic cult or the actual Jack the Ripper because his paintings allegedly contain allusions to the deaths of the notorious serial killer, as well as secret symbolism. Another suspect associated with the satanic cult allegation is William Gull, a renowned doctor who treated members of the royal family. Moreover, the conjecture that several suspects in the Ripper case had ties to esoteric or occult groups has strengthened the theory. Some believe that the killings of Jack the Ripper were part of a larger satanic ritual or conspiracy, as they have connected suspects like Walter Sickert and Sir William Gull to hidden clubs or groups with purported occult sympathies. It is challenging to confirm membership in a cult without keeping records. There have been conjectures that Gull, in particular, belonged to a secret group or cult that practiced Satanism, and that he carried out the Ripper killings as a part of their rites. It's crucial to remember, though, that there is still little evidence to support the extremely speculative satanic cult notion. Numerous historians and academics have written off the hypothesis as implausible and unsupported by the evidence at hand. The idea that the killings were carried out as satanic rituals is purely speculative and may have been motivated by other things. Furthermore, there is no guarantee that individuals' ties to occult groups show their involvement in the Ripper killings, because these relationships are frequently shaky or circumstantial. It's possible that the crime's date and place were coincidences, and that the symbolism attached to the killings was the product of confirmation bias or excessive interpretation. In the 21st century, we can look back and imagine many things that never happened. The occult and esoteric beliefs prevalent in Victorian-era London have inspired theories regarding Jack the Ripper's possible membership in a satanic cult. Alongside the era's obsession with science and reason, there was a rise of interest in mysticism, the supernatural, and alternative spiritual practices throughout this time. The devil-worshipping cult made sense to people in 19th century England. The birth of several esoteric groups and movements was one of the main causes for the occult's rise to prominence in Victorian London. Among the city's intellectual and upper-class groups, organizations like the Rosicrucian Order, the Theosophical Society, and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn had sizable followings. These groups investigated a variety of magical and occult activities, such as studying old esoteric writings, alchemy, and ceremonial magic. The city's cosmopolitan atmosphere and position as a hub for cross-cultural interaction contributed to the growth of these societies. The multicultural population of London and the flood of ideas from around the globe fostered an atmosphere that encouraged the investigation of non-traditional behaviors and beliefs. In addition, the Gothic and the macabre were popular themes in Victorian literature, art, and popular culture at this time. The public's fascination with spiritualism and seances, along with the works of writers like Bram Stoker and Mary Shelley, demonstrated their interest in the paranormal and occult. During this period, rapid social and scientific advancements that put conventional belief systems to the test and drove many people to look for other forms of spiritual fulfillment only served to fuel this obsession. Those who were unhappy with established faiths or seeking a deeper metaphysical understanding found attraction in the occult's promise of secret knowledge and mystical experiences. For many, being in an occult group was related to status seeking as well. But it's crucial to remember that even though the occult was quite prevalent in Victorian London, only a small percentage of people there were followers of these fringe religious beliefs. The majority of Londoners either adhered to traditional Christianity or had more traditional beliefs. Still, the occult's influence filtered into many facets of Victorian culture, influencing the history and imagination of the city for a long time. Theories concerning Jack the Ripper's possible membership in satanic cults have their rich historical context in Victorian London's occult practices. The fascination of the time with the paranormal and occult has added to the mystery and excitement surrounding the Ripper case, even though these beliefs are still hypothetical. It is important to examine the satanic cult notion with skepticism and a critical eye, even though it presents a dramatic and compelling tale. The notion remains hypothetical and controversial, with no clear purpose or solid evidence supporting it. We may never be able to definitively verify or refute it.